There are two factors that determine the direction of the ball, related to receiving a slow ball or a fast ball. When receiving a slower ball, the horizontal angle of the racket face at impact determines the direction of the ball. Here is a straight ahead forehand with an impact on the back of the ball. Here is a cross-court forehand with an impact on the outside of the ball.
He could be a head doctor. That to do. He appreciates that. I mean,
And an inside-out forehand with an impact on the inside of the ball. When receiving a faster ball, it is the angle of incidence and reflection that comes into play. At the impact point, the racket face may be facing an intended target, but if the ball is approaching the racket face at an angle, it will tend to reflect off the racket face at a similar angle. Adding racket speed will also counteract this effect. The faster the racket head is moving at the impact point, the more the angle of the racket face will predominate in determining the direction of the ball, irrespective of the angle of incidence. By absorbing the ball speed, the distance the ball travels after impact will be reduced, thus minimizing the chance of the ball flying wide. With the same body position and wrist position, it is the impact point that will create the racket face angle. If the impact is further in front, the racket face tends to hit more on the outside edge of the ball, sending the shot more cross-court. If the impact is further back, the racket face tends to hit more on the back or inside of the ball, sending the shot more down the line or inside out. The shoulders are more open to the net, and the stance is also more open. The racket face will tend to be at an angle that hits the outside of the ball for a cross-court shot. When the shoulders are sideways to the net and the stance is closed, the racket face will tend to be at an angle that hits the inside of the ball for an inside-out shot or the back of the ball for a down-the-line shot. Here is the correct body position for the deuce and ad court, making it much easier to send the serve wide or down the middle. A change of body positioning for the serve is very important as the orientation changes. With the same impact point and body position, the wrist can change position to hit the inside and the outside edges of the tennis ball. And here we see the inside and outside edges of the tennis ball. If the wrist is extended forward, the racket tends to hit the outside of the ball. Here is the wrist position for a cross-court forehand. If the wrist is in a more laid-back position, the racket angle will tend to hit the inside or back of the ball. Here is the wrist position for an inside-out forehand. With the same impact point and body position, a more or less laid-back wrist can hit the inside and outside edges of the tennis ball. When the ball is hit very hard right at us, it can be very difficult to change the position of the body. Since the determining factor is to contact the inside and outside edge of the tennis ball, having quick hands is very important at the net. There's an impact on the inside edge of the ball. And now an impact on the outside edge of the ball. With quick hands and relatively the same stance and impact point, we can hit the volley in different directions. Here's an impact on the outside edge of the ball. And an impact on the inside edge of the ball. The hitting zone is the distance the racket face moves toward the target. The hitting zone maximizes directional control since, if the racket face moves toward the target longer, the chance that the angle will be correct at the impact is greatly increased. This is in contrast to a more circular swing where the racket face would only be angled toward the target for a very short distance. And here we see more of a bent elbow with more of a back to front racket path. Excessive wrist movement causes the angle of the racket face to change through impact. The wrist should be in a stable and laid back position to keep the racket face moving towards the target. Here we see the length of the hitting zone using a laid back wrist. The hitting zone can further be lengthened by weight transfer in the direction of the shot. Shoulder rotation will also lengthen the hitting zone.